What if I told you there was an easy poker trick, one that's super simple to use but that transforms your win rate? You'll still need solid fundamentals, you won't get around those, but this trick takes them to the next level. This is something the great poker players we all admire know and use all the time, and this is also how I managed to consistently beat the 1-2 and 1-3 live games in London. Now it's time for you to learn it too. So today we're going to do just that. I'll break it down step by step and show you this simple trick that good poker players use to win more. Let's get started. When a new player starts studying poker, there is one thing that he gets told early on by experienced players. Poker is about ranges, not about individual hands. This is, of course, very sound advice, but it can overcomplicate things, especially for beginners, because there are so many things to think about when you're in a poker hand. You're trying to remember your range, your opponent's range, pot odds, stack sizes. Meanwhile, the waitress asks if you want mozzarella sticks and your brain just short circuits. That's why the trick I'm about to show you is so useful. And here it is in action. Let's say you're in a 1-2 game sitting in the big blind with pocket sevens. A very tight middle position player raises to $10, the cutoff calls and you call behind. Three players see a flop of Jack 7-3 rainbow. You have middle set. You check, the pre-flop raiser bets $30, the cutoff folds. Action is on you. Now, standard poker thinking goes like this. What does my range look like here? I have some sets, some strong top pairs, some weak pairs, some gut shots, and total air. A solver might suggest mixing calls and check raises with middle set in this spot. What solvers don't do is consider their opponent's range or their tendencies. Solvers simply don't care. They're quite selfish, really. They play an unexploitable strategy, so they are only concerned about what they do and not what the opponent could have. Newer players who start taking poker studies seriously know that they have to think about their opponent's range though, because humans can't compute like solvers. And it wouldn't be advisable anyway, because it's a lot more profitable to exploit players than to play a game theory optimal style. But this adds a layer of complication, of course. Not only are they now thinking about their own range, but also about their opponent's range, and possibly also about what their opponents think that they have. I'm sure you've heard the saying, what does he think that he thinks that I have? Mozzarella sticks, maybe? The thing about poker is that it's usually the simple, boring things that make the money long term, not fancy thinking or moves. And that's exactly why this easy trick is so powerful. Because at live low stakes, you can cut out all the noise and just concentrate on two things. And here it is, the easy trick. Only think about your own hand and your opponent's range. That's it. You always want to play your hand against their range. That means you don't need to play fancy. In fact, most break-even or slightly losing players would be small winners at these stakes if they simply cut out any fanciness from their game. You just need to understand your opponent's tendencies. Are they the type to continuation bet almost always? Do they only bet when they hit top pair or better? Start paying attention to how they play certain types of hands. Poker is a game of unknowns, so you still have to put your opponent on a range of hands, or at least buckets of hands like sets, flush draws, gut shots, total air, etc. But you know what your hand is, so don't add layers of complexity by trying to balance your play. Most of your recreational opponents at 1-2 or 1-3 or even 2-5, frankly, won't be able to exploit you. Nobody in these games is running you through a solver in real time. They're playing their cards, making their best guesses, and reacting emotionally when they face aggression. They're probably more likely to exploit the buffet than your bet sizing. So let's go back to our example to see how this works. We said that the original raiser was a tight player. He raised pre-flop and he c-bet on the flop. It is of course possible that he has a hand like ace-king, ace-queen, or king-queen, but against this hand class we won't make a lot of money anyway because we don't expect him to continue bluffing. A hand class that he might have are big pocket pairs like aces, kings, queens, and we can add ace-jack to this hand class as well because it is top pair, top kicker. There are a total of 30 combos of these hands, so quite a few of them. He could also have pocket nines or tens, although he might not have c-bet these hands, so I would discount them a little bit. And he could of course have pocket jacks for top set. If he has jacks, we will go broke in this hand no matter what course of action we take. If he has ace-king, ace-queen, king-queen, then we don't make a lot of money no matter what course of action we take either. So the only bucket we really care about is the one with the overpairs and top pairs. And we don't have to be balanced ourselves at all. It doesn't matter if we would never check raise as a bluff in this spot. We simply think what our hands wants to do against our opponent's range. Or, as high stakes poker pro Charlie Carroll said, what is their range and what does our hand want to do about it? So, in this example, we'll just check raise, and if he calls, we'll shove the turn and hopefully scoop a nice big pot. This is how I have been playing live poker successfully for years. Why does this trick work so well in live poker? There are a couple of reasons. One, as we said, most players aren't thinking about your range. They're not looking at what you should have. They're just reacting to what you do, and they're only playing their cards. And two, exploitative play is more profitable than balanced play in soft games. Truly balanced play is unbeatable, yes, but if everyone at the table were to play a balanced strategy, then nobody would win except for the card room that makes a lot of money in rake. But noticing what your opponents do wrong and exploiting their mistakes is what makes your win rate at live low-stakes poker look like this. You're not up against robots, you're up against people who play too loose, call too much, and don't adjust properly. This approach streamlines your thought process and keeps you focused even when the table gets chaotic. Now, does this mean you should always ignore your range? No. In tougher games against players who do adjust, you have to be more careful. Even at 1-2, there might be one player at the table on average who will see through what you're doing. If you're involved in a pot against this player, you might want to be a bit more selective with your actions, but quite frankly, if you just treat every player at 1-2 as someone who won't be able to exploit you, you will be just fine in the long run. That's why in the live low-stakes games that most of us play, this trick is a shortcut to making better, more profitable decisions. So next time you're in a hand, ask yourself, what does my actual hand want to do against my opponent's range? Just find the answer to this question and you'll make money with it long term. And while this is a very useful adjustment to make, there are a few more shortcuts that you can take to beat live low-stakes poker. In this video here, you'll learn what they are.